Hi, my name is Aderemi Davies, documentary photographer, filmmaker, and Christian creative. Today, I want to share something a bit exciting. I find it so interesting, well, quite exciting. So a while ago, Wumi Wisdom, she's a gospel minister, and so a while ago, she posted something on her status, just sharing people to encouraging people to share like how to give description or to give a name to God in the way they understand him. I can't remember exactly when, but it was like a challenge, this give a Yoruba name to God in the way that you understand or experience him. And she posted a couple of replies that people gave her, which were beautiful. What just came coming to my mind was Olorunafogundara, and that's like the one who uses battles to express his creativity. And I'm going to, tell you why how I came up with this. I just kept thinking about, some of the popular stories from the Bible, or how God manifested through the Israelites in battles and all that. And I just asked myself, does God really fight battles? Who can actually wrestle with God? He's in a place of his own, and no one can challenge him. But what I feel that he does with these battles is he uses them to express his creativity. He just okay, how can I show these people again the kind of, how can I manifest my greatness to these people again? How can I show people how powerful I am? Okay, let me creatively express it through battle, or through the way I win this war for them, or through the way I involve myself in this battle. And now, okay, for instance, the Exodus scenario with the Israelites and the army of Pharaoh pursuing them into the Red Sea. I'm going to show you what I mean. So Exodus 14:17. We all know the story, right? So he said, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, so they will go in after them, and I will gain glory through Pharaoh and all his army, through his chariots and his horsemen. The Egyptians will know that I am Lord, and I will gain glory through Pharaoh, his chariots, and his horsemen. Now, see how God involves in the battle. So funny. So let me read from verse 23. The Egyptians pursued them, and all Pharaoh's horses and chariots and horsemen followed them into the city. This was after Pharaoh and God had instructed Moses to lift up his staff, and the Red Sea parted. And so it goes, the Egyptians pursued them, and all Pharaoh's horses and chariots and horsemen followed them into the sea during the last watch of the night. Then the Lord looked down. Okay, during the last watch of the night, the Lord looked down from the pillar of fire and cloud and at the Egyptian army and threw it into confusion. Listen to what God was doing here. He jammed the wheels of their chariots so that they had difficulty driving. And the Egyptians said, let's get away from the Israelites. The Lord is fighting for them against Egypt. That's the NIV. My favorite is NKJV. That says, and he took off their chariots' wheels, and so that they drove them with difficulty. And in my mind, I'm thinking of all the things that God could do. These people were already in the Red Sea, in the middle of the Red Sea. Yes, he eventually covered them up with water, but before them, like, God had time to start taking off their chariots' wheels. Of all the things that the God of heaven could do, he took his time. He started taking off their chariots' wheels so that they drove them with difficulty. Now, sometimes I just read the stories and I just read it like a child, and in the literal meaning sometimes, just to enjoy it. And in my mind, I'm playing the picture like, okay, so how a chariot moves, right? How an army moves. They are running. The chariots are moving. The horses are speeding. They're trying to catch up with the Israelites. It's not like they're just going slowly. No, they are running. They are moving with, power and speed. So God comes. He looks at them from the pillar, and he sees them as people are moving. They're like, okay, what should I do now? Okay, let me calm down. Then God starts to, it's like when how a organizer picks the wheel spanner and then he's taking off your tire. So God now, while they are moving, and God is taking off their chariot wheels. He's taking off because I'm not going to think too deep, right? Maybe thinking I'm just going to see it literally. He took it off actually. So he goes, one after the other is removing their chariot wheels, so that they have difficulty to try to move. And in that point, even they themselves realize that this is not ordinary. So, and they're like, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fights for them against the Egyptians. Now, yes, the word uses fight, but did he actually fight anybody? It didn't. He was just expressing himself. So it was just like, I feel like they were just catching cruise with them, taking up their careless with. And after they had difficulty, then he was like, okay, stretch out your hand, and of course after, and the water came over them. I just felt that was so creative, that was so creative. He didn't even strike them with thunder or rain fire on them. He took his time. He was chilling with them. While they were moving with their speed, God was just moving in his own, moving with them, removing their chariot wheels. And that was so interesting. That excites me. It shows me how creative God can be, So another very interesting one, that strikes me is this second, the story in Second Kings verse 7, where there were just 4 lepers. So how lepers can be. They're probably not even moving very well. They are probably just moving slowly. But verse 6 says, for the Lord had caused the army of the Syrians to hear the noise of chariots and the noise of horses, the noise of a great army. It just amazes me, like 4 lepers, and God amplifies it and turns it into, the noise of an entire army. And these people just had to flee. Is that also creative? So, right, and I just thought about all that, and I'm like, okay, Olorunafogundara, he just uses battles to express his creativity. And I pray that, whatever it is, what is that challenge you're going through? What is that big thing that you see? And, just like the way he told, the way Moses told the Israelites, not these Egyptians, you see them no more. I pray that God will intervene with his creativity into your challenges, into your battles, and he would use it to express and show forth his glory, and you will come out better. You will come out great for it. You will come out in the best version of yourself, after all has been conquered, in the mighty name of Jesus.